Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Janita Miller, and today I'll be taking you through Working Paper 10.01, New Engagement Predecessor Auditor Review. Okay, so if you have selected in Working Paper 10.00 that this is a new engagement, you will find that Working Paper 10.01 becomes applicable. So where we are at in our audit, we are currently busy with the second working paper in our audit engagement file. Okay, so a new engagement predecessor auditor review is work that you need to perform on the previous auditor's file. It is guided by the standards ISO 510, and you will need to document answers to all the questions that we have presented in this working paper. So firstly, for example, what is the name and address of the previous auditor? Did we receive permission from the client to communicate with the previous auditor? Have you obtained permission from the previous firm to review the prior working papers? On receipt of the permission, did we ask the existing auditor to provide information on any professional reasons that should be known before deciding whether or not we should accept the appointment? So it presents quite a few hoops that you need to jump through before you can ultimately decide whether you are going to rely on the previous auditor's work. So whether you are going to rely on the comparative figures that are currently presented in the financial statements. So after evaluation, you get to action 2, which you now need to conclude. So based on my knowledge of the prospective client and any factors outlined above, this prospective client should be rated as, so this is your risk, high risk, moderate risk, low risk. So I'm going to say this is moderate, and I'm satisfied that there are no prohibitions that would prevent the firm or any member of engagement team to perform this assignment. Where significant threats to our independence have been identified, existing actions have been taken to mitigate. I'm not aware of any factors that would impair our independence. So this is related to the independence valuation, which is done in Working Paper 10.02. You can watch the Quickvid on 10.02 for more information on that. But based on the work that we've done now on the previous auditor's file and the independence assessment, we can now conclude again whether we are willing to accept this client or decline. Okay, and then action 3 just asks for a second partner review and signature on whether this client is allowed to be accepted. Again, the guidance sheet providing you the objective of this working paper, the link to the training videos, that's the link to the video you are currently listening to now, and then guidance in providing you with step-by-step instructions on how to do this working paper. If you find yourself fiddling with this working paper and you know this working paper is actually not applicable, then please go back to working paper 10.00 and change the answer to the first question. Is the engagement a new or continuing engagement? Then, of course, you will have to indicate that this is a continuing engagement. And then you will see, if you jump back to working paper 10.01, that since this is a continuing engagement, this document is not applicable, which is correct. So if it's a continuing engagement, we're not going to delete the file from the working paper from your file, because we still want to show the reviewer that we have considered ISO 510. Okay, and this is our way of showing that we have considered it. You remember, if something it's not documented, it's not done. So this is just how we show that the consideration has been made, and the conclusion reached was that this is a continuing engagement. This document is not applicable. Okay, that's 10.01 in a nutshell.